I must say hello to everyone, and as a reminder, please press the subscribe button to show your appreciation to my channel. Thank you.
When carefully examining the narrative, uh, expert extract CPU's metaphorical element is found in framing the issue of the authenticity of the Quran. It can be seen in the clause from data 5. The purple show how CP invite the audience to illustrate explaining the Quran as a clue. However, when he is asked the meaning of the verse, he only answered, only Allah know its meaning. The narrative then become a climax of the message highlighted by CP to claim that the Quran contained confusing editors. You know, here the Muslims, like when you say CP he claimed, you keep saying CP he claimed. So if the Quran is clear, why you have a billion interpretation for the Quran and do not agree with each other? They don't. Like the Quran itself says, Allah he explained the Quran. And not only that, the Quran claimed that Allah explained the Quran in details, not only explained the Quran. So if the Quran explained in details as the Quran saying, why we need your interpretation? And why you Muslim cannot answer? And why Allah knows best? Huh? Chapter 6, verse number 55. Allah he explained his book. He explained all the proofs he gave. The second we ask a Muslim a question, if we bring four Muslims on the stage and we ask them the same question, but we don't tell them what each one of them said, you will see each one of them, he give a different answer. Actually, the example is all over YouTube. Every Muslim, he have a different answer. Even from the same sect. Like if we ask Riyas Rakadi a question, he will give you an answer different from this guy, with his name, the Indonesian guy, Asim al-Hakim. He will give you a different answer from Zakir Naik. He will give you a different answer from any who claim to be famous. As the scholars, they are famous, but for me they are donkeys. So, is the Quran explained? If it is, so why you need all those books to explain the Quran? And if the Quran explains itself, then you do not need the Hadith. But we know that 95% of Islam is not even in the Quran. There's nothing in the Quran. Even the miracles of Muhammad, which Muslims they claim, does not exist in the Quran. Like as an example, when the Muslim they say, oh, in the Quran, it mentioned a miracle of Muhammad. Where? They say the chapter of the moon. The chapter of the moon did not say Muhammad did any miracles. In fact, the same chapter make it clear that Muhammad have zero miracle. So if we go here, if you read carefully, the Muslim they say that this verse is about Muhammad. Where? Remember, the Quran is explained. Where it says this is a miracle Muhammad have done, and where it happened. Who is the one who did it? Where? And who is watching? Nowhere, nothing. It says the hour drawn night and the moon is split. In fact, this verse proves that Muhammad is a fraud because he just claimed that this is a sign of the day of judgment. This is one of the signs of the day of judgment. This is not a miracle. This is a sign of the day of judgment. Now you can say it's a miracle if it's true, that Allah he did it, but he did it as a sign of the day of judgment, not a sign for Muhammad. And nowhere it says Muhammad did anything. So simply, maybe in the time of Muhammad there was an eclipse, which is very normal. We know that Muhammad, when he see an eclipse, he go crazy. He go mental. The second the eclipse happened, Muhammad, you start playing, praying like a crazy. Huh? Eclipse is very, very scary thing for Muhammad. Eclipse happened, he called everybody in the town, come, let us pray, let's pray. Why? Eclipse. It's a sign of the day of judgment. Eclipse. Right? Okay. So we see here that when the Muslims they say Christian Prince claim that the Quran is confusing, I mean, I am not claiming, I can prove it. This verse about who? What happened? What happened? What happened? Who is a Muslim can tell us what happened? The only way to have to understand is in a book written long after Muhammad's death by people never saw Muhammad. Like al-Bukhari, 200 years after Muhammad. Al-Bukhari is not even an Arab. He never been in a, he's not born from the city of Muhammad. He is not a Saudi. He is from Bukhara. And even they say he was a blind man. The blind man who witnessed to Muhammad what happened. In fact, even al-Bukhari never exists as a book. The book written, according to Muslims, by the student of the student of the student of al-Bukhari. Like the Bukhari said, as al-Bukhari became their prophet. So we do not need to claim, it's obvious. Like if I ask any Muslim, I hope the Muslims are taking notes. If I ask you right now, the Quran keeps saying Israel. Israel, okay. If I ask you what Israel, who is Israel? Oh, children of Israel. Okay, children of Israel, children of Israel, children of Israel, 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 Israel. Okay. Who's Israel? Shouldn't you introduce for us first who is this person? So we will know you are talking about who? Obviously, it's a very important person. Yet, not a single place in the Quran says who is this guy. So how the Muslim will know who is this guy, Israel? Oh, children of Israel. Oh, children of Israel. Children of Israel. Mr. Israel. Okay, who is Israel? Nowhere in the Quran it says who is Israel. If we go in the Bible, we will see, we will know why the name changed, what happened, who gave him the name. We have a full story. So the Quran cannot be a book of God. This is not even a yellow pages. So when they say that the Christian friends claim that the Quran is confusing, I do not need to claim. The Quran itself says it's confusing. As they mention, the Quran says that part of the Quran is clear and part is not. And nobody knows what they mean, what those verses mean save Allah. So hold on. The whole idea is to prove to me that the Quran or a claim of Christian Prince is not true. Yet your Quran saying that there is verses in the Quran are clear, and there's verses in the Quran not clear, and nobody's know their meaning save Allah. So is the Quran confusing or not? And what the point of giving me a book? Nobody know its meaning save Allah. Is that a book supposed to be for Allah or for me? Like imagine you buy a car from Elon Musk. He gives you a manual. It's written in a language nobody knows, nobody heard of. If you see the light in your engine, here in English it says, And then the rest is coming in gibberish language nobody knows. Shanku, fashkashku, shatashu, shashashu. Okay, what is that? So the title is clear. If the light in your engine appear, turn red, read the following and do the following. After that, we start reading. We do not know what he's saying. So how we can fix the engine? And then the verses itself says that Allah will use those verses who nobody knows what they mean to deceive people. Can you believe it? Why Allah giving verses to the Muslims to deceive them? Because the one who will be deceived by those verses is the Muslims. The one who consider the book as a book for them is the Muslim, not us. For us, we laugh at it. And the Quran make it clear that those who they are firmly not firm in knowledge, they say Ameen. They don't know still. Look. So who is the one who is a scholar in Islam? Is not the one who knows the meaning, is the one who say I believe. And who is going to use those verses? The thieves. Narrative appear in the clause that the Quran says Allah has sent verses in the Quran. If you listen to them, if you believe, you are going to be misled. Absolutely. You see, they are saying Christian Prince, he claimed. Hold on. Let me spank you. Said that Jibreel told him. Who? Jibreel. Jibreel told Muhammad that the Muslims will be misled by the book of Allah. This is the book of Al-Imam As-Suyuti. The name of the book is Ad-Durr Al-Manthur. I don't hear anything. Why the sound is not coming? Okay, hold on. Maybe I need to change the setting. Yeah. All right. I think now we will hear it. Let's see.
Al-Dur al-Manthur, al-Suyuti, Jalal al-Din Abd al-Rahman bin Abi Bakr al-Suyuti.
Man, this audio, English audio, make me feel like I want to vomit with this audio. All right. Here it says that Muhammad, he came, and the one who reported this hadith is Umar. Umar, he came, I was sitting, and then Muhammad, he came to him, and he was so upset and so sad. You see, if I make too much text, it doesn't read for us. So I'm going to shorten it and do it part by part. I don't know, still is not making audio. Anyway, you can read. So Umar was sitting, Muhammad, he came to him. Umar is the caliphate who became a caliphate after Muhammad and get killed by Muslims. He came and he's very sad, extremely sad. And Umar, he said, what's wrong? He said, oh, I seek refuge by Allah. Oh, you know, disaster. Oh, Umar, he said, what happened? He said, Jibreel, he came to me. Jibreel came to me and he says, and then Muhammad keeps saying, everything belongs to Allah, will go back to him. This is a statement the Muslims say when something very bad happened. So what happened, Muhammad? Tell us. He told him that Jibreel told me that my nation will be misled. I said to him, when and how? And how they can be misled, and I am leaving with them the book of Allah. He said, by the book of Allah, they will be misled. Your nation will be misled shortly after you leave. Not much after you leave. I said, how they will be misled, how they will be disbelieve and misguidedness. And I will leave with them the book of Allah. Jibreel, he said to him, by the book of Allah, they will be misled, which means the Quran is going to mislead them. Do you see it, guys? I wish you speak Arabic so you can read it better. So how they will be misled? By the book of Allah. And Muhammad said, how in the world they will be misled? I give them the Quran. He said, okay, hold on. The Quran, it is the Quran will mislead them. And not only that, he said that the first one who will mislead them is the leaders and the sheikhs, the one who recite the Quran perfectly. Read it. So when the Muslims, they speak about me misleading people, saying to them, oh, Christian Prince, he claimed that the Quran is misleading book. I don't claim, it's in front of you. Jibreel told Muhammad the Quran. Okay, if the Quran is the book of guidance, why you Muslims are misguided now? The Muslim Sunni is a billion sect. In fact, just to show you something you cannot even respond to, Muhammad said, you see, the Quran supposedly is the book is not corrupt, as the Muslim claim. And for me, I don't care if the Quran is corrupt or not, because there's no point to prove a book corrupt when it's false anyway. But look what Muhammad said. According to Muhammad, the most groups are misled are the Muslims. Are you going to say to me, Muhammad, he claimed now? Are you going to make a PhD about Muhammad misleading people? Your prophet says, the Christians, the Jew, there will be 71, 72 sects. The Muslims will be 73 sects. One of them will be right, the rest will be wrong. So who is the one is the most misguided? And by the way, this is false. The Muslims are 73 sect only. Are you sure? The Sunni alone is a couple of hundreds. And each one of them, he claimed that he is the right one. So even Muhammad says that the most confused between all is the Muslims. Otherwise, he will go, you have the Quran with you. Why you will become 73 sect and one of them only will go to heaven? Which means the Christians have a better luck. And the Jews have better luck because we are like 71 sect. One of us will go to heaven, according to Muhammad. The Muslims are 73 sect. One of them will go to heaven. So go to Christianity, you have a better chance. But for us, we don't have sect. You know, there's nothing is called sect. Any name in Christianity is not from God. As you see here, Muhammad, he made it clear that there will be sect. Jesus never said, you go and make my church sect. He never says, go make Catholic or Protestant or Orthodox. The Messiah, he preached one church. And whoever believes in me and die will live. Not whoever is a Catholic or Protestant or Orthodox. Whoever believes in me and he die, he will live. Whatever he is, Asian, black, white, European, doesn't matter. From their fruits you shall know them, not from their sect, not from their color. Your religion insists that most of you Muslims are going to go to hell, and only one sect will go to heaven, and nobody knows which one. I have to say to Muslims, everything I do is intentionally. I mean, it's very stupid of you to say intentionally, not intentionally. Things can happen intentionally if I am stupid. I am here coming to debate with knowledge. There's nothing called accidentally. Like in your Muslim books, it says if a Muslim guy has put his penis in the anus of an animal intentionally or non-intentionally. This can happen in your religion, which is very stupid. Have you ever heard of somebody putting his penis inside the goat anus, not intentionally? Like what happened? Like the goat, she fell from the sky and you were sleeping in your back? Like boing? How intentionally, not intentionally? Or in the hadith it says, if you put your penis in a dead body, male or female, dead or alive, intentionally or not intentionally. This can happen only in Islam. How your penis go inside a boy, he's dead, non-intentionally. What a stupid religion. I mean, do you even read what you say? Like, brother, yesterday, brother, I have a question, brother. First of all, if you have a question, you have to make a donation. Me and take Asim Hakim. We take donation before the question. Okay, I just donated $100. First of all, this is a very old price. You have to increase. We make it $110 for half hour. Okay, but I will ask just 2 minutes. You tip it. First of all, the question is too stupid, but the answer is 2 hours. Oh, okay. So, can I ask? Give the money first. Okay, I just did donation. Yesterday, I don't know what happened. I found myself having sex with the goat, not intentionally. Brother, first of all, your question is not clear. Give us more details. Okay. Yesterday, you know the thing? Brother, there is no need to be a theme. In Islam, there is no theme. Say it as it is. You mean say it like Christian Prince? First of all, never mention the name of Christian Prince from me. This guy, he say it as it is. Idiot. I said, say the story as it is. What did Christian Prince have to do with it? Okay. Okay. So yesterday, I was like, it happened like not intentionally. Brother, how in the world we can help you if you don't tell us what happened exactly? Yeah. I mean, the details is too much, not intentionally. What a stupid cult. And you are making a study, PhD, about me? What about you make a study about your book saying that somebody did boom boom to a goat not intentionally? Or to a boy, dead man or dead woman? Or a woman, she is using a crimbage, which is a sex toy. Or she cut the penis of an animal to use it for sex. This is how silly those people are. They're trying to say to you, oh, Christian Prince, you do that on purpose. For sure I do it on purpose. The verse is, but I don't mislead. I do on purpose asking the questions. I do on purpose force you to read. I do on purpose force you to learn. Put you in the corner. But I don't mislead. This is the official government website of Saudi Arabia. Look what Ibn Kathir he says about how Allah created the earth. Why the translation is not working? For some reason, translation is not working here. Let us make it shorter. Okay, now it's working.
On the authority of Ibn Abbas, he said, the first thing that God created was the pen. He said, write. He said, what should I write? He said, write destiny.
This is the other stupid story in the Quran, or Muhammad's story, because how the pen will know what Allah wants, and how he can write the destiny, and why you need to write destiny anyway? Like, what will happen if you don't write it? Very silly, very stupid. Allah himself is like a child. He has a book, and he writes down his information. And then the pen, he start right away writing. Everything will happen until the day of judgment.
So he told me what would happen from that day until the day of resurrection.
No, he did not tell me. So the pen run, start writing, enter what, like, writing everything about what will happen until the day of judgment. And here is the funny thing. Read Abdul, the one who made a PhD about me. Then Allah, he created the noon. What is the noon? Remember? It's a wheel. And raised the water vapor to the sky, burst from it. And the earth was spread out on the back of the noon. What is the noon? Is the wheel. The noon shock. The noon start moving. So the earth shock. So it was fixed by the mountains. And the earth is proud by its mountains now. The Muslims, they say that CP, he claimed that the Quran is confusing. Is Ibn Kathir confused? Is Ibn Abbas confused? If they are not, do you agree with this story? That the whale is carrying the earth, and the whale start moving, so Allah, he fixed the earth because the whale is moving by the mountains. And how Allah, he fixed the earth by the mountains? He placed the mountains like nails, like the nails of the tent. But we know that mountains, according to science, they come from the ground, not the opposite. They are not coming from heaven. And they are not nails, they are coming from the ground. It is the pressure of the tectonic plate. And if you live in Indonesia, you see mountains all over around you because you live in an area that have a lot of volcanoes. So magma pressure, tectonic plate pressure, all of those things create mountains. What does have to do with the whale carrying the earth, and the whale is moving? Mr. Noon, the whale, Mr. Noon, his name is Noon. How are you doing, Mr. Noon? And who is saying that? This is not a Christian prince. This is Tafsir Ibn Kathir. Do you see it? In case you are blind, Abdul, this is Ibn Kathir interpretation. This is not Christian prince interpretation. And by the way, if we go to Ibn Kathir in English, we will not see this information. If I go right now to chapter Noon or Al-Qalam and check this, am I going to find it in English? No. Let's give it a try. Shall we? This is Ibn Kathir in English. I assure you, we will not find the interpretation for this verse about the moon, the wheel carrying the earth. No way. They took it off. And I'm sure you will not find it in Indonesian books too. I'm sure they took it off. What is the story of the whale? Well, this is Ibn Kathir. This is the same chapter. Where is the whale? What happened to the whale? It's gone. We cannot find it. So do you see how the Muslims, they are a bunch of deceivers? This is supposed to be a translation of Ibn Kathir. So a Western person, he said, okay, I will read Ibn Kathir. This is a famous scholar, and by the way, he is nobody. This guy is a YouTuber, even though at that his time there's no YouTube. This guy, he was existing in Syria, and the Christian, they made shish kebab of Muhammad. So he was trying, the whole purpose of his tafsir is to defend. But as you see, it's a mockery. So now the Muslims, they claim they have a translation of Ibn Kathir. I have the books of Ibn Kathir here, the physical books. All of Ibn Kathir here is not even 200 pages. So all those books on my shelves are what? How Ibn Kathir becomes so skinny? Ibn Kathir, he went in diet. There's no whale, there's no noon, there's nothing. It says here in the beginning, noon is letters. That's it. But in the official government website of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as you see, whale, noon is a whale. And he is the one who carry the 7 earths. The Quran teach there is 7 earths.
And a great whale on the great ocean current, and it carries the 7 lands, as Imam Abu Ja'far ibn Jarir said.
Do you see, guys, how they manipulate and they lie? Why the English does not have, the Arabic is the original. Why the English, and as you see, this is the beginning. You see, this is the beginning of the chapter. We do not need to read like long. In English, there's nothing. This is the beginning of the chapter. There's nothing. There's no whale. Read it. It says letters. Who is the one who misguide and who is the one who deceive? No problem. This is the link. All right. So the Muslim making a study about Christian prince trying to mislead Muslims, but the coward, they will not speak about how much they are trying to mislead their own people. If we ask now those who they are doing PhD, do you accept what Ibn Kathir is saying about the Quran? That there is 7 earths are carried by a whale? They will say, no, we don't accept. Okay, who confused Ibn Kathir? Is he confused by Christian prince? Those are even the companion of Muhammad. Imam Abu Ja'far ibn Jarir. Is he, maybe Christian prince, he paid him?
What is meant by his saying, N is a great whale on the great ocean current, and it carries the 7 earths, as Imam Abu Ja'far ibn Jarir said.
Ibn Ja'far, Ibn Jarir, Ibn Battikh, Ibn Shartukh, all of those, they work for Christian prince, and Christian prince, he confused them. Right? And here it says, and Allah, he made the earth flat and the top of the whale. He made what? He made the earth flat on the top of the wheel.
And the earth was spread out on the back of the letter Nun.
That is pizza. Huh? Are we talking about pizza? And then they will say to you, Christian Prince is misleading you. What a bunch of potatoes. Of someone who asked the Prophet about the purpose of God. Commandment to sacrifice. Okay. That is revelation of Allah. Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. In the later verses, the Quran shows that such a question has also occurred from previous religious people, but then they were clear and they were reluctant to do so. Look at this excuse. If they are clear, why you say don't ask the questions? Why you need to do sacrifice to Allah? Why? Tell them why. But do you see the stupidity? Can you believe how stupid those Abdul? Why we need to do sacrifice? He's saying previously is clear where it is previously clear. Why need to sacrifice? Give us answer. The answer is very simple. You are trying to copy other religions. Muhammad do not know why. But when they were cleared, they were reluctant to do so. The same thing also happens when CP explained 307. Hold on. When do you mean when they are clear? If they are clear, why you saying to them don't ask questions? And verse 102 it says, people before you asked the same question and they lost their faith. Just to show you how the Muslim they lies about the interpretation. What is the reason for this verse, guys? The reason for it, they ask about why Allah gave commandment to sacrifice. Okay, chapter 5 verse 101. Let's go. I will try to use first the English. Go ahead. Read carefully. Do you see anything about sacrifice? Do you see in the interpretation anything about sacrifice? No. Look what the interpretation says. It was revealed about Harith ibn Yazid, who asked the Prophet BBUH when the verse about Hajj to the house, to the Kaaba, is a duty unto Allah for mankind. Where is sacrifice here? Was revealed. It's once a year, O Messenger of Allah. So Allah forbid him from asking such a question. Why not? You see how they lie? Okay, hold on. Either, remember the whole idea of approving me in this PhD to show that I am confused about what the verses mean, right? It turned to be that they are the ones confused. Here it says this is about sacrifice. Right? Ibn Abbas saying no, this is about doing Hajj. Either way, why Muhammad saying don't ask questions? What's wrong with ask you, hey Prophet of Allah, why Allah command us to do this once a year? Why not once, twice? Not why? I mean, what's wrong with the question? And how I will lose my faith if I ask the question? So who is the one Who is misleading? Is it possible that every one of you have different meaning for the same verse? The answer is yes. Is that because Islam is clear, or Quran is clear or confusing? We change the interpretation. This is Ibn Abbas. Let us go to Al-Jalalain. Read it. Where is the sacrifice? Anyone see it? Muhammad, he could not disclose the meaning of the verses. Muhammad could not explain what he is saying. The following was revealed when they began to ask the Prophet so many questions. O you who believe, don't ask about things which is disclosed to you. If disclosed to you, if revealed, would it trouble you? So who is the one is lying to people about the purpose of those verses? Me or you, Abdul, PhD? Which university is yours? Which university? What is the historical? This is the Islamic interpretation of the Quran. Do you see anything about history? Anyone see anything about history? It says part of the Quran. Nobody knows what they mean. And part of the Quran is clear. Clear, which is muhkam in Arabic, where he says the book was verses, has been made clear. Quran 1:11, meaning that it contains no imperfection. Okay. Second, not clear. How the same book says that the Quran is clear? A different verse says the Quran is clear. Meaning that its part resemble each other in the term of a beauty and veracity. Ooh, that will make it not clear. As for those whose heart is deviation, inclination away from the truth, they follow the one who they are not clear. This is the beauty of Allah. So Allah gave verses are not clear. And those verses, the purpose of them to mislead Muslims. But the Abduls, sorry guys, I'm coughing. Let me drink some water. Sorry for that. But the Abdul, they said that you have to understand the scientific side and the historical side. Okay, we open the interpretation. Interpretation says that those verses are unclear and they will be misleading people. What historical side? And here in the interpretation, did you give me the historical side? Did I see if they did? Because then we will laugh. In fact, in the same website here, there's a book, it's called Asbab al-Nuzul. Asbab al-Nuzul. Which mean what? The reason for the verses to come down. Nobody knows the reason for the verse to come down. Do you see it? It's a blank. The book name Asbab al-Nuzul. Asbab mean the reasons of the revelation to come down, which means this revelation, whatever you click. Nobody knows. Remember they said historical, scientific study, false. All what they do, Muslims, they try their best to come trying to give interpretation. There's no historical and there's no science, as you see. This is a Jalalain, same garbage as the one before him. Same. There's no history. It says clearly part of the Quran is unclear, and the one who will follow this part is the one who have disease in their heart. And here you see that those verses will lead into spacious argument and confusion and deserving its interpretation, its explanation, and none knows its interpretation save Allah. So what those verses did, they did nothing but confusion. Remember in the PhD study about me, saying Christian Prince claiming that those verses will cause confusion, when in fact this is their own scholars and this is Tafsir al-Jalalain. But guys, do you see the difference between someone who knows Arabic and someone who don't? Because if you read the English books, it's false. Their translation is false translation, number one. Number two, it is slim. They took off a lot of the true words, true text off of the book. We just showed you today an example of Ibn Kathir. What happened to this Discord? It keeps saying downloading update 1 of 1. All right. What's wrong with this program? Yeah, but you see how we get them busted so easy. I mean, look how stupid they are. They are saying, I am the one who said the Quran is confusing. When the Quran interpretation says the Quran, those verses are confusing. They will cause argument and confusion. And not only that, the Muslim who have sickness in their heart, they will use them. Which means Allah is a satanic. He wants even to mislead the Muslims. Why you want to do that? Why and how someone will be misled by a book sent supposedly as a guide to you? Why does God want to do that? And you know, the funny is, if you ask those people, do you accept what your interpretation is saying? They will say, no, they are confused. Like, do you accept Ibn Kathir saying the earth is flat? What they will say, oh, the Quran did not say that. This is Ibn Kathir is confused. Confused by what? By the Quran. He took the Quran literally. He should not take the Quran literally, brother. Do we have any afreet? Like when the Muslim, they say, Christian Prince, he is making things up. Who is a Muslim can explain to me what is afreet? Anyone? Is it true that the Quran says that Sulaiman, he was a furniture thief and his specialty is to steal chairs? Who is a Muslim can tell us what is afreet? Anyone? Who is this afreet? How does afreet he offer his service to Sulaiman to steal a chair? Is it halal in Islam to steal the chair of somebody? Huh? Is it lawful? Is it like tradition in Islam that every Muslim prophet, he is a thief, he steals furniture? Anyone? No afreet? This Afreed, by the way, is it true? Remember, in the PhD study about me, they speak about science, scientific study. So this Afreed, as you see, he is so powerful, and you can put him in the ball, by the way. This is a true story, brother. You see, some Christian, they might say to you, those stories are not true. But there's a lot of evidence, a lot of clear evidence that Afreed is a very, very scientifically proven to be true. And this Afreed is so fast. He can go anywhere before even you blink in your eye. And he can go like to the end of the world and he bring whatever you want. Is that true, Muslims? Who is a Muslim would like to join us and tell us about the Afreed? Anyone? Nobody? Look like no Muslim want to get involved with the Afreed. He's scary, by the way, the Afreed. I mean, he's so scary. This is the most stupid, dummy religion, if it is even a religion. Fairy tale, flying carpet, Afreed. Afreed did die for Suleiman to get him jewelries. Afreed, he have sex with the wife of Suleiman. Afreed, he take the ring of Suleiman when he go to the bathroom. That's why, by the way, when I go to the bathroom, I take with me everything. I take my computer, I take my microphone, I take everything. Because you never know. The Afreed is there, waiting for opportunity to do to you what he had done to Suleiman. Hair from the butt of the Muslim. Do you know that a Muslim, when he pray, Shaitan take hair from his anus? Do you know that? I mean, do you see how the Muslim is under harassment and discrimination, even sexual harassment? Why this evil Afreed Shaitan is targeting the anus of the believers? Why he don't target the anus of someone is Buddhist, Hindu? Why only the anus of a true, wonderful believer like Zakir Naik? I know you might say to me, you are lying. Okay, let us see. Let me translate part by part, so maybe the audio will be activated.
Indeed, Satan comes to one of you while he is praying, and takes hold of a hair from his anus and stretches it out.
Ouch! Who is a Muslim can use a slow motion camera to prove to us that Muhammad is not lying and this is the truth? If you pray 5 times a day, how many hairs Shaitan will take from your anus? It hurts. It's going to hurt you badly, man. And not only that, he stretch it out, which means, in case you do not know, Shaitan, he hold the hair in the anus of the Muhammadan. And then he put his 2 feet over his butt, holding it in the same time with his hand, with the hair. And he keep pulling, until he made him fart. Why he fart? Because of the pain when he take the hair out. My mic is not good? There's any problem with the mic? All right. Who of you dare to say Prophet Muhammad is lying. Who is a Muslim there to say so? Anyone? For sure, nobody. This is scientifically proven to be true. We have many witnesses. First, stop praying to Allah. We Muslims, what kind of a prophet say, Shaitan take care from your anus? Any Abdul? Huh? We Muslims, what kind of a prophet say, Shaitan take care from your anus? Any Abdul? Huh? I have to say, Prophet Muhammad, he have a PhD in 40. CP in the Muslim University from Indonesia. We are exposing the lies of a Christian prince who people have 20.3 million times uploading his videos. We are going to destroy CP. We will make him shish kebab. Look, all of this is about me. Look at this. Abdul Muzi, Zamir, Fattura, Wahid, Muhammad, Zakir, Fayek, and what? So what? All of this is about me. And then terrorism, guys, they are accusing me that I am the reason of terrorism. Why there is ISIS, Al Qaeda? Because of a Christian prince. Yeah, CP, CP do that. Look, CP, figure 3. This is also what CP show in the description. Lord have mercy. This is the reference. Anyway, Abdul, listen to me. With a snake, without snake, you are a bunch of potatoes. And I want all Muslims, Indonesian Muslims, to ask so-called Ustaz, who they are just fooling you. Why not even a single one of you dare to debate me? Once. Just do it once in your lifetime. Why none of you dare? Big mouth, you claim to be scholars. You claim to be knowledgeable. You charge people $5,000 for 2 hours speech. You are a bunch of liars. You know nothing about Islam. You don't even know how to say your prophet name correctly. All of you are a bunch of potato liars. Islam is a business, never was a religion. Muhammad never had a religion. Muhammad was doing a business. He wanted to rape, he wanted money. When your book says, if the prophet, his eyes fall into a woman, her husband must divorce her so the prophet can F her. This is what your book says, not my books. Your books. If the prophet, his eyes fell into your wife's ass, he will turn you into a pimp and you have to give her to him, for you are a pimp. And then you will hear the Muslim says, I will sacrifice my mother and my father for you, O Prophet. Sure, he will have them. A bunch of potatoes. With goat, with no goat, with beard, with no beard. All of you are potatoes. Businessmen. And this is my challenge to all Indonesian Muslims. If you can make one of them accept to debate me, I can debate them all together, by the way. I'm not saying one only. You can bring as many of them to support each other. But you will never find one of them dare to say, I will debate Christian Prince. And you know why. Because they are doing business. And if they debate me, they will lose. that will be a career ending. In fact, none of them have a career. Those are a bunch of losers, have no jobs. They make money out of the garbage of Muhammad.